What's up, y'all? It's just Rhonda. Welcome to my channel. It's time for a little coffee talk this morning. I like to let y'all know I've been caffeinated. I caffeinated earlier, some on that peach juice. Shout out to Portia. Not Portia, you know what I'm saying? That might sound weird. But they call Portia peach juice, but that's what I'm drinking this morning, and I got some of that H2 into the O. So, yeah, it's Tuesday, y'all. We in it. We in the work week. Grinding. How's the grind going? I don't know. Tuesday sometimes for me be harder than Wednesday. This morning I did not want to get up. I wanted to just lay in the bed and luxuriate, relax. You know what I'm saying? But here I am. I'm here. Or where y'all at? I don't know what y'all drinking. I don't know nothing. Y'all ain't said nothing. Y'all ain't saying good morning or nothing. It's cool. Like the video. If you're in the bushes, go ahead, like the video. Subscribe to the channel because it's the thing to do. Okay, now we're talking. RPC in the house. You agree with the statement about friends and business? Well, let's get into it. Let's get into it. Your friend who is not my friend should not know my business. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not talking about, the keeper of your Pandora's box, the person that, come home and tell your work drama to. Not that person. I'm talking about your homegirl that we all know. If I tell you something, then that means it's between me and you, not me and you and her. So don't be telling my business to your friends that are not my friends. I've experienced this before. I don't tell my business, so it wasn't my business being spread. But I have a former friend, because we're not friends anymore. I have a former friend who used to share things with me about her friends that made me uncomfortable because I knew these people. I knew things like how much money they had in their IRA account, how much money that, her husband was giving to her to put in the savings. Just, things that I was like, I really feel like this is information I shouldn't know. You know what I'm saying? She also told me things about, her mother's best friend and her drinking habits and things that, her behavior. This is a person that I know. So yeah, if it, I guess you just got to be careful who you tell your business to. So, that's a lesson learned for us, I suppose. So, if you're going to share something with someone, not the someone, like I said, that is the keeper of your Pandora's box, because you have a bestie, a sister, a cousin, somebody, that you really can trust your feelings, thoughts, business with. Not that. I'm talking about, people that acquaintances. You say exactly, because when you tell your business, it gets thrown back. It does. It gets thrown back in your face. Some of these people are out here, on mad day. They want to get mad, and as soon as they get mad, and I have this particular friend I'm talking about. We are no longer friends, but I don't tell her business. Like, I don't talk about her. And I'm talking to y'all, but y'all don't know who she is or anything about her. But it's not anything like, I don't tell anything personal that was shared with me in confidence during a friendship. But all people don't work like that. If y'all watch Married to Medicine, Dr. Heavenly is not the one you tell your secrets to, because she go on mad day spread your business, or any rumors that she might have heard. So, I feel like a friend who shares my business is not really a friend. And the person that shared her friend's business with me only made me question, you know what I'm saying, what type of friend she is. I'm like, I'd never be telling her stuff. I've had people, as a hairstylist, sit in my chair and, start running their mouth about all of their friends. And then if we're in a social setting, I'm in that setting like, dang, I know way too much about you for me to not really know you. So yeah, don't tell your business to a big mouth. It'll get you not necessarily in trouble, but it'll definitely get you in your feelings. You say you learned this by sharing with with your niece. Never again. Yeah, even family members. Sometimes family members can't always be trusted. You know what I'm saying, with your business. You have to see how they move. What's up, Jai Tony? Do you be telling your business to people, that aren't really your friends? You gotta be careful who you tell your business to. That's all I'm saying. We're gonna get into the things this morning. I gotta go with my daughter to, the grandbaby's pediatrician appointment. So we're gonna roll through the things today with smoothness and ease like we often do. Let's start here. Mississippi becomes the first U.S. state to ban lab grown dairy products after passage of House Bill 1153. Mississippi has become the first U.S. state to ban production and sale of cell cultured lab grown dairy products with the passage of House Bill 1153 on March 26, 2026. Taking effect July 1st, 2026, the law prohibits selling or manufacturing fake milk, protecting traditional dairy farmers and ensuring label clarity. This is something we're going to have to be real diligent about coming, into this next year. Married to Medicine Cash should never share their business. Oh my God. But they do. But they do. We saw Simone, and what is today? Today is Tuesday. I may do a live on that. If y'all want me to do a live on that, let me know, because I was just gonna, review it and let it be. But anyway, we have to be very diligent about what we're being sold, what we're eating. It's already been an issue, but dairy is already disgusting in terms of us drinking the milk of other animals. So it can't, I don't know. Definitely can't be a good thing to be eating synthetics. I don't know what this is going to do to the body. I feel like it's going to be great for the medical industry, because they will then have, people with issues that we've never seen before and no cure for, and lots of money spent in the medical, or if we don't have any medical insurance, I don't know. I'm just saying, Mississippi, shout out to Mississippi for keeping the cell cultured lab grown dairy products off the shelves. That means cheese and yogurts and anything dairy, and we already heard some horror stories about the cheese. So, and I like cheese. I'm gonna have to start, taking cheese out of my diet. Cheese. On the package, the labels now read bioengineered products, so we need to pay attention. We do, and I've not been, I don't go looking at calories. Like most of us, we make economic choices, and I would say the most low cost items are probably the ones that are going to be bioengineered, which means poor people will be left with the, with the bullshit. Has it been 5 minutes? Yes. So yeah, we're gonna have to read our packaging and shop local. We need to buy direct from, remember back in the day, I'm not that old, but I do remember watching on television and stories from my mother about how the milkman, would deliver the milk. And these people in terms of, how they're farming. You have information about them, not just at the grocery store. Cheese is inflammatory. Well, I'm going to go ahead and blame my gut for the cheese then. Bad for human consumption. You gave it up. So how did you give it up? I gave up. I tell you, and not now. I need to go ahead and get back into not eating so much bread. Bread is a hard one, so I limit myself to how much bread I have. And now I'm watching these people run their bread under the faucet, and it's not even actually acting like bread. But I stopped drinking sodas years ago, and it was now I can't even hardly drink it. If I have a soda, it'll be a sip, and that's it. So yeah, I need to get rid of cheese. And now that you're saying inflammatory, melted cheese is crunchy now. It is. You pour it on your food, and then you're like, this isn't what we started out with. It's all like rubber, plastic. We don't know what's in it. And now that RPC has thrown that word inflammatory out, I'm a woman of a particular age, so that makes me think of my joints and, probiotics, having this swollen gut and things. So, okay, I'm going to write that on my list, RPC. I'm going to try to undo my cheese, but I got it bad. Me and cheese got a toxic relationship that is just going to be real hard to let go of. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, yeah, make sure you read your labels. This story right here has me feeling some type of way. I tell you what. An artificial intelligence school with no traditional teachers is set to open in Chicago this fall. Alpha School. An artificial intelligence powered school with no human teachers is set to open in Chicago this fall. I wonder what the children will look like. Will this be practiced on little white children or little black children? Just curious. Signaling a bold shift in how education may be delivered in the future. Reported by Block Club Chicago, the school will rely heavily on AI systems to guide students' learning, replacing traditional classroom instructions and adaptive personalized technology. Instead of teachers leading lessons, child, I'm on my phone trying to move the mouse. Instead of teachers leading lessons, students will interact with AI driven platforms and adjust in real time to their pace, strengths, weaknesses. The goal is to create a more individualized learning experience where each student follows a customized path rather than one size fits all curriculum. I wonder how they're going to do that. Support staff, here we go. Support staff will still be present, but their role will be focused more on supervision and mentorship rather than direct teaching. So the teachers are now considered support staff, and your job is to monitor, supervise the robot. Get out of here. This model reflects a growing trend in education technology where artificial intelligence is being used to enhance, or in this case, replace traditional teaching methods. Proponents argue an AI can provide more efficient and tailored instructions, while critics raise concerns about this lack of human interaction, emotional support, and the broader social development that teachers provide. As the Chicago school prepares to open, it will serve as a real-world test for whether AI can fully take on the role of educators. Its success or failure could have major implications for the future of schools across the country. I have to read this first comment because it cracks me up. I hope the kids beat up the robot and sell it for parts. Signed, veteran teacher. This is horrible as far as I'm concerned. Good morning, T. You coming from the doctor's office, and I gotta head out with the grandbabies. Them kids is gonna mess them robots up. Well, that's what the teacher is there for. She's there to supervise. This to me, I mean, so we said, when I say we, y'all, because I didn't say it, my kids were homeschooled. The oldest one graduated from high school. The youngest one graduated, and well, the last two, they did homeschooling, but I feel like it was a gradual step with each child. And I had some good experiences and bad experiences. When I say homeschool, I mean virtual school, because I was not the teacher, I was just the coach. They were getting public school education. But for me, based on my lifestyle, it definitely made it easier for me to understand what was going on at school as far as curriculum is concerned, because it's online. So I could go back and see, what the lesson actually was. And I don't mean for the high school student, I mean for the younger ones. But the issue was, from a lot of people would ask me, like, how do they get socialized? What is it? They won't know how to make friends, and which is not true, because they have social things that they can be involved in. My concern is, so you have this robot, which to me is pretty much the same thing as virtual school. It's not a real person. It's we're calling it a robot, but it's a virtual learning tool. What happens though when you have a student that's hungry? Because we talked about that yesterday, because there's no food, there's no breakfast had, the kid can't concentrate. So is that what the supervisor is there for? Like, you not letting me teach, you really got me babysitting a class full of kids and the teacher, make sure everything goes smoothly. Teachers and students both, there's an emotional connection between the two. What happens with the kid who is feeling bullied? Like, I feel like you need teachers, you need human interaction to help navigate children through their emotions. If that's the case, they can just sit at home. They don't need to go to school. They can just sit at home and do virtual school and, not have to worry about their robot teacher and what she might do. And is she going to be programmed? Guarantee 100% the AI teacher will be programmed to make a difference between children of color and non-melanated children. So I'm not sending my kids are grown, but I'm boo for the AI teacher. Y'all are replacing teachers only to have the robot teacher be, supervised by a teacher. That sounds stupid. That means I guess you could pay the supervisor, you could pay her less money than you would have to pay a real teacher, as if real teachers were getting paid, because we know they were not. On to the next. This is a blood pressure raising situation. Every time I see this man's picture, I'm like, oh shit. So TSA workers have started to receive their retroactive paychecks after 6 weeks without pay. Child, I'm just glad to know they're getting a paycheck. And Tyler Perry, continue, move along, send out more gift cards, because this, what do they call it? Punitive damages, emotional distress. We need more money. This is good news. TSA workers are finally starting to receive payback after lengthy 6 weeks without paychecks. As we previously reported, the partial government shutdown led to thousands of TSA workers going unpaid, causing many to leave their jobs or call out sick. This left airports in chaos with long lines. How did they write this? With lines hours long. Flight delays and cancellations. Public figures of status like Tyler Perry and Elon Musk. Ooh, it must suck to have your name mentioned in the same sentence as Elon Musk, Tyler Perry. It say Tyler Perry and Elon Musk right here in the same sentence, because they was out here doing the same shit. Neither one of them had, I think there was personal motives behind, both of them. Anyway, they attempted to step up and help, but weren't able to due to federal regulations. Elon Musk was probably over there asking for ownership of TSA. Tyler Perry was over here trying to beat these allegations of people saying he had to bend over for Hennessy bottles. Either way, they had their own personal agenda. According to The Hill, TSA workers have now started to receive retroactive paychecks covering pay periods 4 and 5. Let's get these people their money. Now we got to negotiate which weeks they got to get paid for. We know how long. They need 6 weeks worth of pay. One big old fat check, and let them figure out, not tax-free. Take that out their check. Let them get 6 weeks of tax-free pay for their inconvenience. We're not negotiating week 4 and 5. This comes after Trump signed the executive order Friday to finally release funds to DHS. I'm so tired of him. I'll tell you what. TSA only earns $60,000 annually. Why not get another security job or trade? Is horrible that they didn't get paid. I feel like that's what I would have done. I mean, I know it's hard to get a job out here, but I'm not coming to work. So what if I'm calling in sick then? I'll be better whenever this shit gets better. I don't know how you not quit, but some of them stayed in there. A lot of them stayed in there through not getting paid and all the nonsense with these crazy lines and everything that they've had to deal with. So they're getting their money slowly but surely. I'll say, give me all mine. Give me all my money. That way we don't have to have this conversation anymore, and I could get these bills paid up. You said you watched the video, Gen Z is using ChatGPT to ruin their entire life, totally dependent on AI. Remember when I think people were very Pinterest heavy, and it got to a point where you couldn't figure out what you were going to cook for dinner without first looking at Pinterest. I think sometimes, I don't rely on TikTok, but sometimes I'm like, what's a cheap meal for 5 people? You know what I'm saying? That you could cook, because times it's hard, and we had to, adjust our regular way of grocery shopping. So yeah, the people getting their money. You say TSA wants non-pay agents to use their PTO. Yeah, no, we're not doing. I'm not doing any of that. But like I said, I would have quit. I'd rather go, sit at a drive-through window and say, "Can I take your order, please?" Before I sit there and let these people play in my face about whether they're gonna give me my paycheck or not. And after 6 weeks, I'm homeless now. What do you want me to do? Have y'all heard of the Koch brothers?
Have already donated more than $455 million in contributions for the upcoming midterms. One of those families is the Koch family, which owns Koch Industries. They've already donated $12 million. Now, Koch Industries owns Georgia Pacific, and I've talked about them a lot. The reason why I do is because it's one of the easiest forward-facing consumer brands to switch out on your shopping list. So once again, I want to focus on Koch Industries, first and foremost, reminding you that they're one of the companies that produce Kirkland Signature toilet paper. Costco sells so much toilet paper that they lean on multiple companies to produce it. And no, there's no way to tell the difference between the companies. Georgia Pacific sells their own brand, so if you're going to switch from Kirkland Signature toilet paper to another one, make sure you don't switch to one of these. Georgia Pacific makes Angel Soft as well as Quilted Northern. They make paper towels, including Brawny and Sparkle. They make paper napkins, including Vanity Fair, as well as Dixie. On the business side, they also manufacture the brand Marathon. If you're looking for alternatives, products made by Kimberly-Clark are always a good option. They don't give to politics as a company, and their senior leaders and other employees give a little bit more to the Democratic platform. When it comes to Procter & Gamble products, which are products like Charmin, they also give more to the Democratic platform. And if your budget allows, I always encourage people to consider sustainable products that are made out of bamboo. There's a popular brand called Who Gives a Crap. It's an Australian-based company, and they don't give to politics. 50 billionaires have already donated more than $455 million in contributions for the upcoming midterms.
He said 50 billionaires. Yeah, I watched a documentary on those Koch brothers. They are the devil. You think Elon Musk is bad? These guys, this Koch family is horrible. Look on Netflix if you could find a documentary on the Koch brothers. That's crazy. I follow the woke ginger because man, we got to be in the store looking to see if the food is food or if the food is MAGA. Good grief. I'm going to just grow some tomatoes and live in a hut. Anyway, the woke ginger generally has alternatives. It's hard to keep up, with who you can't go by Procter and Gamble. What'd you say? Well, I mean, I feel like most of them are racist, but it just, I guess this conversation is about whether they're donating their money politically. So much like Chili over here, if you buy these concert tickets to go watch them perform at the En Vogue concert, then she's probably going to take her portion of your money and donate it to MAGA. So I think it's the same thing with a lot of these companies. Good morning, Lotus Egyptian Flower. Yeah, I think it's like, a lot of them are racist. Probably all of them are racist, but it's whether or not they're donating their money politically. They just have chosen to stay out of politics, that kind of visible, and probably share, donate their money privately or in ways that we can't necessarily find. Whew. Ciao. So my industry, I saw this article, New York cosmetology. Now, Ulta over there in New York was having some issues with doing the lady's hair because she was Black. So New York cosmetology schools must now teach kinky, coily, curly hair care. What? New York has officially required cosmetology schools to teach kinky, coily, and curly hair as part of their curriculum. With all the people of color in New York, this makes no sense to me. This must not mean in the city. This means future stylists will now be trained to work with all hair types and textures, not just straight hair as a requirement to graduate and get a license. The move is meant to tackle long-standing gaps in the industry where many people with textured hair struggle to find stylists who actually knew how to care for their hair. Bullshit. Bullshit, bullshit. And I'm going to tell you, that's only because they're talking about places like Ulta and, hair cuttery, which hair cuttery generally does a decent job of, having multi-talented stylists, but those corporate salons, because hair care for us has gone as far back as we can remember. Africa, that's where it started. Thank you. Queen Nefertiti, please don't get me started. The movie is meant to tackle long-standing gaps in industry where people with textured hair struggle to find stylists who actually knew how to care for their hair. Bottom line, no more we don't do that type of hair excuse. This isn't going to go away. It's, I don't want you doing my hair, Becky, if you don't know what you're doing. I'm fine with that. But this isn't new. Like, I didn't get licensed in New York. I got licensed in Georgia. I'm a Florida cosmetologist that has taught cosmetology school students, and caring for all types of hair is part of the curriculum, period, point blank. I don't know how New York, I don't know what their book looks like, but the standard is Miladies. And Miladies requires and has education for all hair textures. So it's just that companies have been allowed to hire stylists, and especially if their demographic doesn't require, is not Black, a lot of high-end salons. It's just another discriminatory way to keep people, from getting their hair done in high-end places. At this point, though, in 2026, Black folks got high-end salons, so we don't have to go over there to Ulta. I've never gotten my hair done at Ulta, but I bet you if there's a Black girl in there, that would have been the one doing my hair. I'm just saying. I don't really just be trusting my hair to folks that don't care about my hair, period. And then they will continue to sit there and act like that. I don't know how to do it. What you say? No, this thing moving. No, they ain't playing in my head. Go get a mannequin. I would say that's part of the problem. When I was in beauty school, like I said, I went to beauty school in Georgia and in Stone Mountain, Georgia. I used to live in Atlanta. And the school I went to, predominantly the clientele was of Black people. So the students in that school didn't have no trouble being educated on how to do Black hair. The white students, however, the few white students that were there had the luxury of waiting on white clientele to come in. So they just allowed them to not do it. The curriculum has always been there. And so you get to do, when I was teaching here, please trust and believe, when they come in that salon a lot of times, and I live in a highly Latina environment, they will come in and ask for can I get a Puerto Rican? Can I get a Latina barber? So I don't know if that's going to change, but it is what it is. I feel like the new requirement is not so much about the state board, but about people, companies like Ulta and such, like hiring. You got to know what you're doing on all the hair, or else you can't work here. It won't change. They'll just make sure that they have somebody there that knows how to do it. And Keisha will get all the Black clients. That's how that will go. And I know for me, I love it when they send me a Black client. So, keep sending me my money over here just because y'all are too lame to learn their industry completely and fully. Remember when Rihanna said that bitch better have my money? Bitch better have my money was inspired by Rihanna's real life experience with an accountant who mismanaged her finances and caused her to lose $9 million. To me, the song sounds like she talking to somebody personally. That's what they need to be saying down to TSA. I don't want to hear about 4 or 5 weeks. Bitch better have my money. The song Bitch Better Have My Money wasn't just a banger, it was personal. Rihanna sued her former accountant, Peter Gunas, after he allegedly failed to tell her that her 2009 tour was losing money and encouraged her to buy a $7.5 million mansion she couldn't afford, causing her accountants to drop her accounts to drop from 11 million to 2 million in a single year. She settled for 10 million, then made a whole music video about it. So this manager had to pay her $10 million. I'm glad she got her money back. But let me see what y'all saying before I get off on a tangent. You said we're not just going to anyone for our hair. I agree. If I'm going to school, it would be black hair. I know how to do all hair types. Said it, a lot of times based on my environment, I have less black clients. The black clients that I do have, I brought over here with me from, previous places. But I was working for a corporation. I used to work for the Ratner Corporation, and I built my clientele because, there's one black stylist. That's not the case anymore, but there was me and one other guy who preferred doing Caucasian hair for whatever reason. So I got all the black clients, and it was fine with me because I was like, black clients come get their hair done more often. So I have clients who are there every week, every other week, while y'all have to wait 4 weeks, you know what I'm saying, for, your next stop. So, and like I said, white stylists are always going to be able to say you can't, if you're not good at it, if you don't want to do it, you're just going to say, I didn't do a good job on this hair is hard. They're always going to be giving the excuse. And I'm fine with that. Keep making that excuse because I don't want you playing in my hair anyway. If you don't love it, then, it's cool. I'm going to just go sit somewhere where somebody does just love doing hair, all of the hair. It's interesting how I know many black cosmetologists who can do white hair, but they won't learn how to do ethnic hair. It's true. And that's, I have white clients because I do hair, all the kinds of hair. And this is the thing too, as a race, technically, yes, most black folks have a kinkier, curlier, coilier texture of hair. But even then, it's all different textures. It's all different. It's not one particular same type of, hair pattern, hair texture. But it's more work, I feel like, as far as they're concerned. Even the way they approach it, they don't want to do it. Most black cosmetologists, on the other hand, my white clients have access to money. So when things get slow, you know what I'm saying? If you're working at a higher end salon, both my black clients and my white clients, they are in a certain income bracket to even be able to afford, this particular location. And the thing is, in the past, it's been my experience and that's on us. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it can still be, but when you go to a salon, a black-owned salon that's a high-end salon, it's high-end because of the experience. So you're not going to be sitting there all day and all those, bad things that you've heard about black clients. My clients, when they came to me, they would appreciate that not only did they get their hair done good, because I'm good at what I do, but they weren't sitting in a salon all day and, having somebody on the phone. Their experience was an upscale experience. But back in the day, there wasn't a whole lot of upscale black-owned salons, especially not on a corporate. So if you go to the mall and you walk in there, you're not likely, you will now, but back then you were not likely to, find somebody that's capable of doing your hair. But that's because they don't want to do it. And I don't care. I'm here to get the money. So I don't care, white, black, if we doing hair, I'm going to be good either way. You said Rihanna just dropped Jive Turkey off the end. At the end of her slogan. I'm here for it. People be playing with your money. I just, felt like when Rihanna made that song, it seemed like she was talking to somebody. I also feel like in the entertainment business, like she was being led by, Rock Nation and Hove and managed by them. So they're not sharing the education part. You know what I'm saying? That you can't go on a tour and be not having eyes on your money. I feel like Bitch Better Have My Money. She had been around for a minute, but I think that's around the time where she really start reaching superstar status. So yeah, you gotta pay attention to your own money. When she said that she didn't know her tour was failing, How do you not know? There should be some check-ins. You know what I'm saying? On your downtime, you can't let anybody just have complete control of your money because then you won't know what's going on. So, based on the fact that she's a billionaire now, he was clearly found in the wrong because that she said she settled for 10 million. Well, the 10 million clearly put her back, up where she was. But I guess, pay attention to your money. You can't just be letting somebody decide, how you're going to spend it over there. Speaking of Jay-Z, Jay-Z speaks on the Kendrick versus Drake rap battle and says he believes it went too far for rap. Battles are no longer good for culture due to social media. I want Jay to shut up. What is he even talking about? First of all, somebody pointed out in these comments, first comment, then why did you instigate it by letting him perform at the Super Bowl? Jay put Kendrick at the Super Bowl, didn't he? That was his thing. That's his job to find the talent for the Super Bowl. I don't understand why he thinks the internet has anything to do with rap battles. It doesn't make sense. At El Cid, welcome to the chat. Good morning, El Cid. You said sold out tours don't just fail. That's what I'm saying. It's that clearly the manager was up to something. And how many millions does he have if he can just cough up 10? Okay, you said OFC, someone who got slaughtered by Nas. Yes. Okay, so I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that because I pulled up a little, rap beef history. And I'm like, let's see what this is really about. Because I felt like when you see all these ciphers and rap battles, and there's like you have to go dirty as you can go, and that's what that's how they get encouraged. When you're battling somebody, the objective is to just obliterate them, So from 10 to 1, the most popular rap battles, the ones that we know about. I didn't even know about this one. I think I low-key remember it. LL Cool J versus Cannabis. Start over, a lyrical misunderstanding resulting in a second round KO. I don't remember this one because I don't really get into rap battles, and I'm surprised LL, the lover boy, is over here, battling with someone. Drake versus Meek Mill. Everybody versus Drake, for goodness sakes. Drake versus Meek Mill sparked allegations of ghostwriters leading to popular diss track back to back. A lot of them have ghostwriters. You said you've been here? You've been in the bushes? NFL. I'm over here trying to catch up with y'all in the comments before I keep going because I'll come back and NFL catch back after Kaepernick exposed. Well, I feel like that came up in the conversation. Somebody said it about him saying Kaepernick should just get off his knee or whatever. Shut up, Jay-Z. That's all I can say about that. Yeah, Drake versus Meek Mill. Gucci Mane versus Young Jeezy, stemming from a 2005 money dispute. This feud tragically involved violence. So that's worse than Kendrick Lamar because Gucci Mane down here, number 8, they was over here resulting to fisticuffs and whatever had happened over there. Gucci Mane versus Young Jeezy. Oh, I did that one. Eminem versus Machine Gun Kelly. White on white crime. Eminem's kill shot directly targeted MJK after Rap Devil. I'm not familiar with either one of these young men in their rap battle, but I feel like Eminem coming after Machine Gun Kelly is Eminem. He ain't prepared. Machine Gun Kelly could never. Ice Cube versus NWA, the brutal breakup feud defined by Ice Cube's No Vaseline. When I'm done here, I have to go listen to No Vaseline because I'm sure I've heard it, but I can't remember it. And the title alone makes me want to hear what Ice Cube was saying. I know what they were doing over there, taking their money, Eazy-E being, shifty with the money and the management and all of that. Pusha T versus Drake. I said everybody against Drake. I remember this one. Highlighted Pusha T's story of Adion. Is that what he said? Is that the name of his son? No, I do remember this beef where he outed him for having that baby that we did not know nothing about. Exposed personal details about Drake because they was over there in the studio. Drake must be one of them friends that you don't be telling your friends my business. You know what I'm saying? Were they talking about Drake? But I do remember Drake versus Pusha T. That's number 4. Number 3, Kendrick Lamar versus Drake. I don't see anything terrible that happened over here. Aubrey was already whack before, Kendrick Lamar got a hold of him. So, hey, are we talking about, not NWK. No, we're just talking about Jay-Z over here saying that the rap battle went too far. First of all, I don't think it went too far. I did enjoy the battle between Kendrick and Drake. It actually kind of revitalized the whole, hip hop beef. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of what hip hop is supposed to. I don't even want to say beef necessarily. I feel like, whatever was going on with Drake, Kendrick just pointed it out. And I also feel like that song was so much bigger than Drake. I don't know that Drake might have been the inspiration for making it happen, but I feel like the conversation was way bigger than Drake when you come, when you're talking about They're Not Like Us. And, Kendrick is very smart. And again, Drake is not in any class. I know there is a lot of Drakes out there, and y'all can have it if that's what you want. Jay-Z versus Nas is number 2. So Jay-Z's versus Nas is higher up on the chart than Drake and Kendrick Lamar. You snoring. Sorry. This is the takeover and Nas's Ether. Nas's Ether, you know who I don't see on the list? She must be. I feel like Remy versus Nicki, that Ether, that rap battle, Ether Part 2. Remy, she obliterated her. All these battles. El Cid be over there in the music sector. I'm not. El Cid, we need to do that one. The rap battles. Just throwing it out there. When you do, when you do your thing over there, we need to do the rap battles. Just put it on your list. It's just a suggestion. Just put it in your suggestion box. But I know you know the lyrics to all these songs. Y'all want to see El Cid rap? Child, she be killing it. She got bars. Brothers gotta mature. Every time you say brothers gotta mature, so we ain't insulted by the smallest, slightest rap battles. I thought that's what it was supposed to be about. Basketball, no more offense, at nothing. Gotta grow up and get on code again. I mean, I suppose maybe these AI teachers will help, fix it. You want to do R&B battles because they're wild too. I mean, I'm here for both. I think both are a great idea. I just want to hear you rap because I know you be over there rapping. Lotus Egyptian Flower say, growth is uncomfortable for people, unfortunately. It is. It is uncomfortable. Growth, change can be uncomfortable. And I have always been anxious when things change, but it's never really been a change that I couldn't adapt to. So yeah, we just have to do better. I just know Jay-Z need to sit down. You said she'll be playing either for her party tomorrow. I don't know. I want to see her on the 1s and 2s. Anyway, who else is on this list? I'm over here in y'all's conversation. Tupac versus Notorious B.I.G. At the end of the day, the East Coast, West Coast battle of it all, the quintessential East Coast, West Coast rivalry characterized by hit 'em up and who shot you. Both of those were good. I would say that's one time where both sides were good. I can't even pick one. They were both good. But yeah, so Jay-Z, I said, Jay-Z, shut up. I don't know, like he's turned into this old man, like cantankerous old man who's like, oh, you whippersnappers, the internet is making things worse. Worse for him because he's not ever stepped up to that paternity suit that the people was trying to get him to step up. I know he hates the internet. He was just over here trying to fight those Epstein Island allegations. Jay, please give us a break. What y'all saying? After what we learned about Diddy and what's really a battle between Tupac and Biggie, right. And Jay-Z too. Jay-Z would be, over here at these meetings with Diddy. I feel like Jay-Z was dead up in it, but then Diddy got strung out on drugs and was like the king of the world. And so the people start backing up off him. Everybody except Usher's, who's still over here saying he's a mentor and a good guy. Ciao. What else we got? Oh, speaking of beefs, remember when they were out here saying that Martin Lawrence was, out of line when it came to Tisha Campbell? What's happening? There we go. So Tisha was over here talking to Tigger. Tisha Campbell denies ever saying anything negative about Martin Lawrence. I will protect him until the day I die. If she didn't say nothing negative, then where do we get it from? Because I feel like I have more details on what was going on behind the scenes with Martin and Tisha, and I don't know neither one of them. Actress Tisha Campbell made it clear that has never, and will never speak negatively about Martin Lawrence or the television show Martin. Campbell says Lawrence needs to be protected, and she will do that until the day she dies. Those are big words. Wow. Till the day she dies. Let's hear what she's saying.
You survived Martin, the show. And I know there's not much you can talk about it, but as you think back over those
Let me
times,
just stop you.
What?
I'm going to stop you
Come on,
right
stop
there.
me right there,
I'm going to
sis.
stop you right
Come
there.
on.
Never have I ever said a bad, unkind thing about the show, about
true.
Martin Lawrence, and I never will. I will protect him till the day I die. I don't care what people think about
Okay.
me. Till the day I die. I will never say a bad or unkind word to any media outlet ever.
Okay.
That person needs protection, and I will protect him till I die.
I love that loyalty.
So as I was saying,
You ain't saying nothing.
Because she had to stop you.
as you think back,
I know how to deal with him, y'all.
as Tisha Campbell's in the building.
Okay, so then where did Gina go? Why did Gina turn into somebody that was on the phone? You know what I'm saying? The rumors, I got a little bit of rumor I'll share with y'all. Let me see what y'all saying. She's lying because the last season was a flop due to her. She did not show up. She was just a call-in castmate. And Martin and Gina, Martin without Gina, it was different, especially since they were married. They had become, Martin and Gina. Even Pam. So now Martin, that last season, Martin's friends with Pam and Gina's calling in on the phone. She said she will protect him to the day she died. He needs protection from who? And why you is don't the man have a wife for his protection? That's in itself says a lot, Gina. She's always doing too much. Yeah, okay. Tisha is the reason people don't believe women. This is so disgusting. Her and what's the other one? Tanisha Arnold too. So just, I got a little gossip, and I'm not going to name no names, but it came from people who know them directly. What had happened was, according to my source, which makes sense, Gina and Martin in real life, Tisha and Martin may or may not have had some kind of, thing. You know what I'm saying? Not a thing, not necessarily, but they were very maybe exploring the idea of being a real relationship. And then Gina then got with Dwayne, right? This is according to my source, who is very reliable. Gina then got with Dwayne Martin, and you know how niggas do. Martin didn't respect the boundaries. So I don't know that it was like what everybody was saying it was, but I know, what did you say? They were top hunching. I didn't get no details about the hunching of it all. I'm just saying that they were close, closer than close, closer. Yeah, maybe I'll go listen to me some Midnight Star. Anyway, yeah, Martin didn't respect the boundaries after she was in a relationship, so maybe, because of, he may or may not have confronted Martin about the situation. And then after that, Gina was on the phone. So I don't know that the allegations, because there was a lot of stuff out there, about those two. But now she wants to protect this man with her life. And I was like, you even saying that sounds wild. He, she ain't, and she did say in this interview with Tigger, she says she's never said anything to media and she never will. So just because she ain't tell y'all, I mean, she told somebody, or somebody told somebody that, was one of their friends. And now I got the information and I'm telling y'all. And it's so old. It is so old. Come on. What'd you say about El Cid? Why you read El Cid's rowdy comment? Because it was funny. You've got 6 laughy faces. Now I'm gonna put it again. They were top hunching. That's what the streets was saying. But from top hunching to protecting somebody with their whole life, that was one hell of a hunch they had going on over there down to the Martin set. So, I'm very much in my feelings about this whole concert that I'm no longer attending, even though I haven't bought no tickets yet, but that's besides the point. Just wanted to point out some of the things that were said between these ladies. T-Boz and Chili, TLC are all over the internet, everywhere you go. So, Chili won't be beating these allegations anytime soon. And as far as I'm concerned, birds of a feather. Like, if you just gonna be complacent, you can't come to the cookout. That's how I feel about that. So, this is T-Boz, her statement. I don't care about Donald Trump. I mean, God is my president. Girl, God is not your president. Donald Trump is your president. So you absolutely need to care. That's just stupid. So I just feel sorry for people it affects, but I don't care about him. It affects people, including T-Boz, or at least, people without T-Boz money that suffer from sickle cell, because where is it at? Did I not have it? Anyway, so Donald Trump and their organization cut funding for sickle cell due to DEI. So if you suffer from sickle cell anemia, it would be considered a DEI disease. And, funding was cut. I wish God could be my president. I mean, wouldn't we be in a much better situation if he was? But God is T-Boz's president. And her president, God that's her president, I don't know what he's doing about the sickle cell situation, but the actual president, Mr. Donald Trump, he cut funding because sickle cell is DEI. So, she admitted on a radio show that her bandmate, T-Boz, admitted during an interview, Chili voted for Trump. My group member voted for Trump. So, here she is being complacent. She knew all about it. So listen to
this is an all hip hop exclusive.
Yeah.
You guys are about to nominate the biggest jackass in the history of politics. Straight up, period.
I think you're really gonna win.
This is an all hip hop exclusive.
My group member voted for him.
Well, here's my thing
This is an
I've been
all-hip-hop
telling you guys
exclusive.
that when you say Obama got 2, that don't mean nothing anymore because the voters are as dumb as they've ever been.
This is an all hip hop exclusive.
Yeah.
You guys are about to nominate the biggest jackass in the history of politics. Straight up, period.
I think you're really gonna win.
This is an all hip hop
He's gonna win.
exclusive.
My group member voted for him.
Well,
her group member voted for him. Now, this is the thing. T-Boz confirms Chili voted for Donald Trump in an audio obtained by All Hip Hop. This audio is from Trump's first successful run in 2016. This adds fuel to the controversy that already had social media digging into her past comments and even her 2020 infamous All Lives Matter statement. Chili has denied any connection to Maga, but the critics continue to question the disconnect between her statement and what. Oop, I just lost the whole thing. Sorry, y'all. This adds fuel to the controversy that had social media digging into her personal comments and even her 2020 infamous All Lives Matter statement. Chili has denied a connection to MAGA, but critics continue to question the disconnect between her statement and what they believe her history show. So there's a lot of conversation. Chili should be able to vote for whoever she wants to, and I definitely believe that that's true. T-Boz telling the business is not hers, but we glad for it. She did. She said her group member voted for Trump. And we know who's not there. On a documentary, that's all I said was messing around with while he. Oh, you talking about Martin? It says on a documentary. My mouth is tangled. On a documentary that I saw, said they was messing around while he was married, but she wanted to cut it off when she got married, and because she didn't want to. That's pretty much what I heard, T, about Tisha Campbell. Yeah, I think he wasn't like respecting boundaries. T-Boz telling business is not hers. That's what we said. You got to be careful about who you tell your business to when you go into the thing. I stand on business, so I have no problem saying who I voted for. Chili is the one out here trying to backtrack. Girl, if you push the red button, you push the red button. Stand in it. We're all in terrible climate being to be acting lukewarm. So pick a side. Yes. And this is the thing. Let me finish your statement. Either you're for something or not. K-Dot said they are not like us. That's what he said. But then Jay-Z said that's too far because it's about Drake. They're not like us, and stand on it. And T-Boz can also stand on it. While she over here saying that God is her president, she could have followed up with, I don't stand by any of that mess that Chili is doing over here. But, I'm about this tour because of, TLC, not just being about Chili. But she didn't say that. So now we like, okay, well, y'all then. Voting is confidential. It's supposed to be. Don't tell nobody. I'm going to know by how you talk and how you act. Thank you. I bet you don't have no confusion about me over here. You won't be assuming that that's what's happening. But, at the end of the day, I feel like this is really going to hurt the tour. And Peppa better make her shut up before they get canceled. They might, I don't know. I know everywhere I look, people are still talking about Chili, who we ain't said nothing about Chili, in years besides them going on tour. But here she go, doing the most. Had she not double-clicked that picture, she would not be exposed. Good thing, the internet exposed her. On to good news. Brandy, she received her star on the Walk of Fame. So Brandy was honored with the 2,839th star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame following her contributions to entertainment industry. The multi-platinum Grammy Award-winning recording artist, the actor accepted her star and delivered a moving speech regarding her upbringing as a young child. Her parents accompanied her along with some notable guests to celebrate her latest success. I bet you won't see Ray J over here.
From Macomb, Mississippi. Let that sink in. I came to Hollywood as a young girl in the 7th grade, attending Mancroft Junior High, and then spent just one semester at Hollywood High before everything began to shift. I used to wake up every morning in Carson, California, get myself dressed, make my mama some coffee, and she would take me to the bus stop so I could go to school. Back then, I was just a little girl with a big dream, but growing up in Hollywood made those dreams feel close enough to touch. Seeing the stars on the Walk of Fame lit something in me. It made me believe. It made me affirm over my own life. I'm gonna sing my way onto one of these stars. And I did. That is what makes this moment so profound. You guys, I'm from Macomb, Mississippi. Let that sink in.
So yeah, here's Brandy getting her. I like her outfit, minus the gloves. That's a funky little sweater she got on. Did y'all see Brandy perform the national anthem with her backup singers? Here's Sonya and Papa Ray J over here. Ooh, that's Sonya. Sorry, that's Ray J's mama. I do not see Ray J. He will be on the internet 54321 crying about how Brandy wouldn't let him come over there. Babyface is there. Monica is there. Kalani is there. Kalani got her hair all cut off. Jennifer Lewis. Issa Rae. Gina over here too. Is that why Gina was over there having interviews talking about how she gonna, die on the cross for Martin? Yeah, shout out to Brandy. But well deserved. Where's Ray J? Not here. Ray J don't know how to act. Half the people in the building probably got a restraining order against Ray J that he got to stay 100 yards away from them. Brandy ran the 90s. Congratulations. Good morning, High Vibe. We've been kind of messy over here. Have you been in the bushes? What are you drinking? It's almost time for lunch. So is it coffee time? We done with our morning drinks. Yeah, shout out to Brandy. Congratulations, Brandy. I love Brandy's voice. Maybe after I stop listening to Midnight Star, I'll switch over to Brandy. We're going to leave on this note. They having a fume for you, girl. We not attending the fume, Chili.
I want everybody to bow your heads in prayer. Lord, we had a good run with our dear sister Chili, but the time has come.
The scrub is a girl who donates to Trump, also known as a buster.
Ooh, I don't know if I'm going to get in trouble for that. Is that copyrighted? We'll listen to it a little bit more. I'll do a little something. Better known as a buster. What else he gonna say?
No, I won't support my own oppression. No, I don't believe it was accident.
Oh, child. This is what I'll do. I'll post it on my Instagram story. If you want to hear this whole song, I ain't finna get, in trouble over Chili. It's coffee time. That's High Vibe. It's coffee time, and this job ain't really interrupt my personal time. I love that. Well, we having a good time over here. Yeah, I ain't bowing. I'm gonna just head to the repast. We're going to the repast. I don't know. The way Chili eat, ain't nobody cooking nothing good. It's going to be a vegan repast. We're going to have our own, but do we really care? We have to find something else to, we're not going to the fumes. Sorry, Chili, we're not. We are really actually, when I say we, I mean me, think I'm going to go to TikTok and tell the people how bad I want TLC off this tour so I can go. So, yeah, if you're not following me on TikTok or following me on Instagram, it's a little bit messier over there. It's just Rhonda01 over there as well. I mess with TikTok. They so messy. Yeah. And they not done with her. Send you that. I got you. Yeah, we not doing it. We are not doing it. Sorry, Chili. We're not coming to your fume. But, maybe Friday, we'll just have a hangout. We'll have a low-key hangout without any of you entertainment types like Jay-Z, Chili, Gina. Gina, you can't come either. You can't decide whether you want to, anybody that says you're going to stand behind Martin till the day you die, I can't rock with it. You're doing too much. No more salt. They barely any pepper. Oh my God. I'll go view the body, but I ain't going to the funeral. I mean, do this, T. Since you're going to go view the body, go ahead and take a screenshot. Try to make it, Chili's pretty. It'll be hard to not get a good angle, but go ahead and take a screenshot for us. And then, we toast to the good times back in the day where, before the scrubs came along. Oh, where's Left Eye when you need her? I think I'm going to end on this note, y'all. No more salt and barely any pepper. And yeah, that's where we're going to end it, y'all. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. I will not be here tomorrow. And so I'll see y'all Thursday. We're going to talk about Bob Barker and what he had going on. All right. Bye, y'all.